Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video we're going to be talking about my 1993 Mustang GT here. As you guys seen in the previous video, I've recently picked this car up from a buddy of mine, and we haven't really talked about much of what is actually done with this car, what my blank canvas is. So we're going to go ahead and just dive into what's currently done to this car and of course talk about what the future plans are. So let's go ahead and take a tour of my 93 Mustang and talk about the future. Okay, here is my 1993 Mustang GT. The color of the car is the Vibrant Red or Performance Red, which was on the 1993 Mustang Cobra. The car is not originally this color, it was painted this way before my buddy or myself have owned it. As you can see, for exterior modifications, there isn't many. It's pretty much stock. The only exceptions are it does have a 93 Cobra grill insert and a Cervini's Cobra R style hood. It does have aftermarket headlights and fog lights, but it does have Ford LX style taillights. The wheels and tires are from a 2003 SVT Cobra. The SVT emblems have been removed for pony center caps. The tires are Nitto NT 555Rs for the rear and Hankook Ventus tires for the front. In regards to the quality of the exterior, I'd probably rate this car as a 5-footer. It's not without its flaws, that's for sure, but it is a pretty clean example of a nice Fox body that's been pretty well kept, and one that you could drive and enjoy for quite a bit. And it still cleans up pretty nice, the paint still shines well, and there's not a ton of dents and dings all over it. It's a pretty solid car, and overall one that any Fox body owner would be proud of. In regards to suspension modifications, it does have an aftermarket tubular K-member and tubular A-arms. It is sitting on coilover front suspension with a weight jacker rear control arms with lowering springs in the rear, pretty much making the suspension fully adjustable. Okay, now moving right along to the power plant of this Mustang. This does have a 302 in it, which is from a 1991 Mustang. The engine itself had less than 100,000 miles on it when it was pulled, and it is a stock bottom end 302. It does have the TrickFlow Stage 2 top end kit on it, which consists of the twisted wedge heads, the TrickFlow Stage 2 camshaft, the track heat upper and lower intake manifold, which has the 75mm opening on the intake, and it is paired with an AccuFab 75mm throttle body. It does have an Anderson 3.5-inch fender well power pipe on it, along with some other goodies, which includes some Anderson Ford Motorsport plug wires, an MSD billet distributor, and of course that's been upgraded with the bigger alternator from LMR. It does have silicone radiator hoses and such, along with, for cooling, it does have a big 3-core aluminum radiator on it. It does have 410 rear end gears in it, along with some Moser axles. It does have supposedly a beefed up rear end, but we shall see when we crack the differential open to see what's actually inside of it. But it does indeed have 410 gears, and that's something I'm probably going to end up changing. For the transmission, it is a T5. Supposedly it's built, but again, it's not something we can confirm right now. And it does have a stock style replacement clutch and flywheel in it. In regards to the interior, it's actually in really good shape. It's the opal gray because it's a 93 color, and the seats and the interior plastics and stuff are all in pretty darn good shape. It could definitely use a cleaning though. It didn't have any floor mats on it when I got it, so we're probably going to pick up some opal gray floor mats and just give it a nice good solid clean. And one last thing to note really on this car is that it does have the 4-wheel disc all the way around. It has Cobra fronts and bigger GT rears. It does have the Cobra booster and master cylinder along with an upgraded proportioning valve. Brakes are probably one of my favorite things on this car. Stops extremely well. And there you have it. There's the tour of my 1993 Mustang GT. As you can see, it's a pretty solid slate to start with. It has a good amount of modifications done, but we still have room to grow. So let's go ahead and talk about the future a little bit. As you guys heard, and I mentioned earlier, that's got 410 gears in the rear. I'm not a huge fan of those gears, especially for what I have futurely planned for this car. I'm not sure if that's a word, but we'll go with it. I'm going to go ahead and pull those gears out and put a set of 355s in the rear. That's a good street gear. It's what I have in my 87, and I like them a lot. And it's good street gear, plus it's a good power adder gear. And with that being said, yes, I will be throwing a power adder on this thing. I already have one picked out, but a couple things I want to do before we dive into that project. So I do want to see where this car is sitting naturally aspirated, so we're going to get it on the dyno here very soon and do a little tuning session. We're going to get this thing dialed in a little bit at wide open throttle. I'm sure there's a lot of horsepower on the table right now, the way I have it pretty conservatively tuned right now, but at least we'll be able to see where it's at before we start adding more power. So a couple other knick-knack items here and there that I may or may not film, not sure yet. Mostly just kind of restoring a few little things that the car needs, but nothing major because this car, again, is pretty solid. So the future is pretty bright. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys stick along with me for the journey. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any new content coming to the channel. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, you're live. What do you want to tell the people? You like Mustangs? Yeah? Which one's your favorite Mustang?
Cars.
Cars?
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite out of Daddy's cars?
Red.
Red?
Yeah.
All right, we narrowed it down to the 3 that I have. All right. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.